Hello. We're starting at the top of our mats, hands at our heart center, taking a few breaths here as we prepare for 2 rounds of Sun Salutation A. On your next exhale, you can release the hands. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhaling into your flat back, lengthen through the collarbone. Exhale, stepping back with the right and then the left, lowering all the way down onto your mats. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, reaching the hips up and back. We'll take a few breaths here to pedal out the feet. Warm up the hamstrings. Feel the calves and the hamstrings stretching. Let both heels reach down. And then we'll take a big step up with the right foot, followed by the left. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, get a nice stretch, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, release the crown of your head down. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, this time stepping back with the left and to the right. Exhaling all the way down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, just peeling the chest off of the mat. Exhale into your down dog, pedaling out the feet again. Doing any movements in your down dog that feels nice to stretch into the backs of the legs, eventually allowing both heels to sink down, taking a breath here. Inner biceps are rolling up towards the ceiling. We'll bend the left knee, hug it in towards the chest, step down, followed by the right. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, surrender forward. Inhale yourself, press yourself up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Next round, inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, step back with the right, then the left. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, so lifting the thighs and up dog. Exhale, reaching the hips up and back into your down dog, taking a few breaths here, really focusing on the hamstrings. Feeling the hips reaching up and back, letting both heels sink down. Keeping a bend in both legs is perfectly fine. Eventually working towards straightening. Then we'll hug the right knee in, stepping forward into your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the fingertips all the way up, and exhale, release. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. This is our last half of our Sun Salutation A. Exhale, we're going to step back, lowering down, chaturanga, inhaling into up dog or cobra. And exhale into your down dog. Taking a few breaths here to feel some really nice sensations and length in the backs of the legs. Let both heels sink down. And then we'll hug that left knee in towards the chest, tap it through, followed by the right. Inhale into your flat back, reaching through the collarbones. Exhale, fold forward. We can widen the feet a bit, about hip width apart, and we're going to release here in a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows and taking a bend in the knees so that the belly can lay flat against the thighs. So bending the knees as much as you need to achieve that. Feel the spine lengthening. Feel the crown of your head reaching down towards your mat. And whether it's today or another day, once you feel that you can begin to lengthen the legs, so straightening the legs, you can do so. On your next exhale, drop the hands down. Inhale into a flat back and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up and exhale, hands to heart center. Good job. We're going to take a step back with our right foot. So coming into a warrior one stance, right toes are slightly pointed out, hips are squared, and inhale the arms up. On your exhale, sink down into your warrior one. Inhale, lengthen that front left leg. Exhale, sinking down, inhaling back up. So flowing with your breath, but really paying attention to that back right heel, keeping that right heel pressing down into your mat. The next time you inhale and straighten that right leg, bring the hands down towards the hips. Exhale as you hinge forward, and then releasing the hands down, coming into your pyramid pose. You can place blocks underneath the hands. Feel the legs scissoring together, keeping a micro bend in that front knee. Feel that outer left hip crease pulling back. Bring the hands back onto the hips, and on an inhale, hinge yourself all the way back up to standing. Rotate the toes to face the side of your mat. You can widen your stance. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, hinge forward, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale as you lengthen forward in a flat back, and exhale as you fold forward, surrendering the crown of your head down. Outer edges of your feet can be parallel, or the toes can be slightly pointed in. You can keep a slight bend in the knees. If it's comfortable, you can walk the hands back, fingertips pointing behind you. We want to make sure that we feel the stretch here right in the belly of the hamstring. Make sure you don't feel anything in the knees or in the sit bones. So that's where our hamstring attaches. We don't want to feel any pain or stretching in the attachments of the hamstring. On your inhale, come into a flat back again. Hands to the hips and hinge yourself all the way back up. We're going to rotate the toes towards the back of the mat this time, coming into our warrior stance on the opposite side, warrior one stance. So back toes are slightly angled out. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. Exhale as you sink down into that right knee. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, sink down, really focusing on keeping that left heel pressing down into the mat. Keeping the hips nice and square, so maybe pulling that right hip back just slightly. The next time you inhale yourself back up, keep that front leg straight, hands to the hips, and hinge yourself forward. And exhale as you release the hands down onto your mat or stacked up on blocks. Keep that right hip crease pulling back towards the back of your mat. Both feet are firmly grounding down, legs are scissoring together. You can keep a micro bend in that front leg. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring. Bring the hands back up to the hips and inhale as you hinge yourself all the way back up to standing. We'll rotate again to point our toes to the side of our mat. You can widen your stance. Inhale, fingertips reach up. Exhale, hands under the shoulders. Inhale into flat back. And exhale, hinge forward. You can walk the hands down, maybe between the legs. You can come into the same variation as before, so keeping the hands on your mat, maybe walking the fingertips behind you, or if you'd like, you can grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. If that's not accessible, you can always grab onto the ankles or onto the calves and just gently reach the crown of your head down. You can keep a micro bend in the knees. Any position where you feel a nice stretch in the back of your hamstrings is fine. We'll gently release, bringing our hands under the shoulders, inhaling into your flat back, hands to the hips. Hinge yourself all the way back up, squeezing the shoulder blades together. We'll rotate our toes to the front of our mat and step forward. Inhale as you reach the fingertips up, and exhale as you hinge forward into a forward fold. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, take a deep bend in the knees. We're going to lower ourselves all the way down to seated on our mats. Straightening the legs in front of you. You can take a moment here to really ground down through each sit bone. You can move a bit of the flesh away from your sit bones if that's comfortable. If you know that your hips are tight or your hamstrings or lower back is tight, you can elevate your hips on a folded blanket or a block. Inhale as you reach the arms up, and exhale, we're going to fold into a forward fold, grabbing onto the outer edges of the feet using a strap or grabbing your ankles. And inhaling as you slightly lift, exhale as you surrender forward. So moving with your breath just a few times. Inhaling as you come up, exhale as you sink down maybe a little bit further. Eventually on an exhale, just sinking down and holding. Keeping both legs engaged, both feet are flexed, legs are pressing down into your mat. And we're trying to create length in the spine here. So we're trying to reach the crown of our heads to the tops of our feet, not trying to get our forehead or our nose to touch our knees. Trying to reach the crown of head forward. A few more breaths. Good job. Inhale into a flat back from here, holding on to the feet or the ankles, and then inhale yourself all the way back up. Good. We're going to shake out the legs if you need to. Bend the knees. We're going to come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Elevating the hips as that feels nice. Hands can come onto the knees, and we're going to take our Shavasana in a cross-legged position today. Allowing the shoulders to relax down, taking a couple breaths, allowing the eyes to close, just feeling the effects of our practice. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through your practice today. Namaste.